So we're over the east side of Lake Okeechobee right now, and we're heading to a spot that some E3 members put on E3 SKYSHARE. There's one we're going to on the north side of Lake Okeechobee in Florida. Today what we're going to do is, because this will be my first time going there, we're going to land in a little cove that's there. Now there's an inlet from the lake that gets into the cove where we're going to land, and then you can pull up and there's a little beach there and there's some picnic tables. Yeah, it looks like a really cool spot on satellite. I don't know how long that landing spot is, so I'm using my chart from the FAA off-airport operations guide, and we're going to measure it. So our first pass. Now I will tell you that, you know, they teach you to do two inspection passes before you land. If I'm in bush plane, not in the SeaPlane, or if it's somewhere I kind of know and I know the area, I'll just do my two passes. In the SeaPlane, I typically do three passes. The reason I do that is, one, I'll do a pass about 1,000 feet AGL and get a good overall situational awareness. So there are mountains in the area, you know, get a check on my wind, get a good feel for just more of a general situational awareness. Then I'll drop down to my 500 feet, and that's where if I need to do my measurement on landing zone, I'll do that. I'll find my LVR, check that point, I'll pull up my timer here, which we're going to do it up here and we'll show you, but I'll pull up my timer, hit my timer, time it to where my LVR is, to where I would lose runway, and then I'll measure it on the chart here and find out how much we have. Now next time I wouldn't have to do that if it's my next time coming up here. My second pass at 500 feet, I'll do that, and then I'll do a little bit better inspection of the area, try to look at the water, where I'm going to go, and just get a better feel for it. And then I do my low pass. My low pass, I'm hyper-focused on where I'm going to land the plane. Are there logs under the water? Are there alligators there? Coconuts, whatever it is. Typically it's stuff I can't see at 1,000 feet if something's just under the water. So I'll do my low pass after I do the 1,000, 500, and then my low pass is hyper looking at my runway, where I'm going to land. Is there anything in that water that's going to be bothered? I also have my charts, my marine charts, so I kind of know what the water is and all that kind of stuff. And based on the water right now, the marine chart show it should be absolutely no problem. One thing to note is South Florida, we've had very little rain lately, and that's been an issue. They turned off our sprinklers and all kinds of stuff. So I have to remember that, because it looks like the water level in the lake right now is a little low. I'm going to actually, on my 500-foot pass, I'm going to check out the beach where I'm going to go and make sure if I land, can I actually get up on the beach. It should be a fun location. I'm going to do a little bit of walking around there. Now you're going to want to know, why do we have firearms and med kits? Well, first of all, we have EDC med kits. We take on our planes anywhere we go, everywhere we go, all the time. Especially out in areas like this. You know, if we go down in the Everglades in this plane, there's alligators around, there's stuff that'll bite you, there's all kinds of stuff. You know, you have a little bit of an action or you roll over. In a plane like this with all these poles, it's going to have a problem, which is one of the reasons why I'm always wearing a helmet in the flow plane, no matter what. We have all our med kits. Go watch our full video. We did a full video on our med kits and our EDC, everything that we put in this plane, but also our med kits and why we have what we have when we fly and where we are out here. It's a great video. You'll learn a lot. We actually do demos on how to use tourniquets and how to pack wounds and stuff like that, so you'll probably enjoy that. Go check out that video. Now you're asking, well, why do we also have firearms? So right now I have a 9mm P365 on me with an extra mag, two 17-round mags, and then a Pew 300 Blackout rifle in the back. Why? Look, we're going somewhere that is dangerous. There is alligators out here. The last time we were up in this area, we landed, it wasn't 10 feet off the front of the pontoons here. We were just right here at the plane. All of a sudden, a 15-foot alligator just popped up out of the water. Now, you don't want to mess with wildlife. Please, if for some reason you're in a situation where you got to protect yourself, well, at least I got a 9mm on me almost all the time that I can do. They shouldn't bother you. They don't bother you up here. Hopefully, if you don't bother them, they're not going to bother you. I mean, there's golf courses and stuff here, people playing golf. You know, we got alligators walking across paths. They shouldn't bother you. Around the water's edge and stuff, you know, you might have a little bit more of an issue. So we try to tell people stay away from the water edge. Don't be in there. You know, be vigilant about that. If for some reason we are in that kind of situation, at least we have some stuff to protect ourselves. And then, of course, we got our med kits in case we have an incident. Obviously, if I land here and we're walking around the beach and stuff like that, I'm not going to pull my 300 Blackout rifle out and be walking around. That's more for if we end up where we have to land in the Everglades or lose an engine in the Everglades or something like that, because it's big out there and it's going to take them a while to get to you. Alligators are definitely around you if you land in the Everglades. That's just all there is to it. Now the 300 Blackout, subsonic with a suppressor, is way more of a potent weapon system than a 9mm. So if we were in the Everglades in the plane, you know, usually I would have that out to just protect while waiting for somebody come get us. There you go, there's a ton of alligators all right underneath us, so now you know why. And we've probably seen like 50, 60 of them all right in this area. I dive. I'd rather be swimming with sharks than to be in this water right now, I can tell you that. Look at them all. There's tons of them here. So I'm going to do right downwinds on my passes, because that way there, if I have an issue, I'm over the water, I'm not over land. Because I do have my gear up, 4 blues for water landing. Do our passes, do our measurements. So here's our little cove. You can see all these bass boats going out. There must be a tournament or something today. World-class bass fishing on this lake. But we're going to go into this little cove right here now, looking at my wind indicator on the point here, and then checking out the shorelines and things. I can see that the wind is basically coming out of the of the west. So we're going to be landing in this direction. And that's the little cove there. So I got my LVR there. Now I'm going to do my passes just because we're going this direction. I'm going to pull up my timer here. So my timer is ready. A lot of boats out today. Good view. And those are the airboats too. My power set, got my airspeed set to exactly 70 knots where I want it. We're stable altitude-wise, we're stable airspeed-wise. I see my LVR. I'm going to start up my timer. There's my LVR. Going to get my timer going. Okay, so I got my timer there. Let's take a peek here. Plenty of room to land this plane. That even gives me a lot of buffer. But let me do my lower pass now.
Water landing.
My system recognizes I'm not at an airport. That's one of the nice things about this XCUB one floats the whip lines. It knows I'm not at an airport. We're in water area here. So I'm going to do my other pass, and I want to just get a good check for where we're going to be landing here. So now I'm down at 500 feet. My power back, I got 10 degrees of flaps in just to give me a little bit of slower speed here. This looks like a really nice cove. Nice spot. I can see all the picnic tables, a little tents and stuff in there. There's my 500 feet. And while I'm looking in here...
Obstacle ahead. Pull up.
See that the beach looks a little shallow because the water is down. So I think what we're going to do, we're probably going to pull in. We're not going to land in the cove. I'm just going to make that decision right now because it looks like the water is a little bit shallow there. We're actually going to land on the outside here and pull up to the beach on the other side of the peninsula.
Gear up for water landing.
So we'll do our next flow pass here, and we got pretty good situational awareness on the location. All right, I got my wind direction good. I know exactly how we're going to land. Gear is up. Go through our checklist. First with flaps. Come up on our prop here. I've got my landing zone that we talked about. Get my fuel in.
Obstacle ahead. Pull up.
LVR is identified. Okay, let's get our next set of flaps.
Obstacle ahead. Pull up.
And she's going to keep yelling at me.
Gear up for water landing.
Another verification. Okay, full flaps. Got our zone. But we got our rudders down, and here's our beach right here. Keep our taxi slow so we don't eat away at our prop. We can get ready to bounce. Now, usually if I'm coming up with a dock or something like that, I've got everything off. But we're just beaching it up here. I'm not going to have to jump out that fast. But we make sure our pockets are secure. There's nothing in there that can fall out once we get out. Phones, all that kind of stuff. Of course, our stick is back. And I'm going to get my water rudders up so they don't hit. And we're here, everybody. So, I'm checking for alligators. I don't see anybody. They seem to be curious. They see us come up here and they kind of pop out and say, hey, what are you guys doing here? As you'll see here. And so we're going to get in the water and go take a walk around and check out this location.
So you can see an area like this. It's, you know, it's pretty calm. Water's pretty calm. We probably don't have to put anchors down and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But, you know, here, I'm always looking for alligators. I haven't heard of any issues really lately from people. So what I am gonna do, even though it's common, I could probably just pull it up a little and keep it here. I'm gonna turn it around first, obviously. But you gotta remember that there's also airboats and fishing boats going by here, so as the wake goes, that could be enough to move this. So you should tie it down all the time anyway. Plus the wind is blowing at us right now. So, you know, worst case, it might turn sideways and it's here on the beach. There's no currents here because we're in a lake. But we're gonna go ahead and just turn it around. And I've got my lines here on the cleats. Of course, this is the other reason why I put my rudders up before we hit the beach. One is so they don't hit, but then when we go to turn it around, they're up and out of the way. So now we're just gonna give it a little back pressure here. So this spot here is really a little island and a peninsula on it that creates that little cove. So we're just landing on the outside of it. We could have landed on the inside if the water levels were up a little bit more. So we're gonna take a walk around, just check this out. This is a really cool spot you can come for seaplanes. Again, it's on E3 SKYSHARE. So we'll keep our eye on the plane here. We're just gonna walk up top here and just take a look at some of this picnic areas and stuff and see what they're like. So this is where we were planning to come in. So this is the actual location that's on E3 SKYSHARE. You pull right up to the beach there. You can see it's a little shallow. We probably could have got in there and then just walked in, but it's kind of mucky water. We did see a couple alligators right up over the water over there, but little picnic area you can come to, spend the day. There's hiking all around here and stuff. It's just a place to get away. It's kind of cool. You know, maybe next time we come, we'll land in the bay here and then pull up. But anyway, so this is on E3 SKYSHARE. We'll put this video on that location on SKYSHARE. It's the north side of Lake Okeechobee. But if you're in a seaplane, go check it out. And then Okeechobee Airport is only maybe 4-minute flight right here for lunch. So that's what we're gonna do next. So we're gonna head back to the plane, do a couple passes and stuff, check out the area, maybe land a couple other areas, and then we're gonna head over for lunch. See you in a minute.